everyone, Sandy here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. For this little project, we're going to be making a 6x6 mini album out of a 6x6 paper pad using Cartabella's Oh Happy Day spring collection that I received in my design team package from Country Craft Creations. I have a full 6x6 pad here. We're going to use the outside and the back slightly cardboard, as well as the pages, the papers. We're also going to use what I have left of the ephemera pack that I received, plus some cut aparts from the 12x12 collection. I also have some ribbons. I have here the yellow seam binding ribbon and the pink seam binding ribbon. These are from Country Craft Creations, and this real pretty satin floral ribbon. So we may or may not be using all of those, but those are available for me to use. What we're going to make is a little 6x6 album. Now again, we're using the Oh Happy Day, which is currently available while supplies last at Country Craft Creations, the 6x6 pad. First thing we're going to do is get our papers ready. Now I've already taken mine out of the pad, and these are already cut, but you carefully take your cover and back cover off the pad. This should already be 6 inches wide, but you want to trim down here at the top to make sure they're 6x6. So these are going to be our cover of our album and the back cover of the album. So to set that aside, then you take your papers. This particular pad, they are 6 inches wide, but when you take them out of the pad, they have this little hole for display in a store. So you put this at the 6, and you're going to go ahead and cut down to 6, which is right along the edge. Make sure you lined it up right so you get it cut off. So all of these have been cut off. So I'm going to go through and pick out what I want for my cover, and then also what I want to use for the spine section, and then my pages. And also I need to pick out one or two to make into hinges. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then I'll be back to share everything down and picked out what I wanted to use. You will need 12 pages or 12 sheets, 6x6. For your pages. We're going to have 6 pages, and you want it front and back. So we have 12 of those picked out. I picked out just an assortment. So you pick out the ones you like. For the cover, I'm going to use the yellow and white dot. Front and back cover. This check's going to be the inside of my album cover. And this blue here is going to be the spine. So set those aside right there. These pink ones with the lemons, instead of using lemons, I'm going to just use the pink. These will be my hinges. Might not need all of that. And that leaves me 3 sheets to set aside for possible pockets and things. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this cover, these pieces here, and we're just going to cover this. And I'm going to use art glitter glue. We're going to cover and it's going to go from edge to edge, and then you'll want to pick out an ink, maybe a light colored ink on this one. I don't know. I normally don't use ink colors when I have light colors. I usually don't ink when I have light colored paper, but for this one probably will. So we're going to put the yellow on one side and the check on the other side. So that's going to make our cover. So we're going to just sandwich this little heavier cardstock, you might say, or card from the cover between those 2 pieces. So I'm just going to put the glue on the paper here, I think. Make sure the edges are covered pretty good. I have a new bottle of ink, so it's kind of coming out a little thicker than I want in some places, but that'll be okay. Let's move this one out of the way. So just line it up carefully, get all your edges. And again, like I said, you're probably going to want to ink your edges. So let's spread this out. Wipe off any excess glue. This is going to be your cover. And glue on your table, wipe that off before you flip it over. Turn this over, and so we're going to add this one next. So this makes the cover piece for our little album. This is just a fun way to use up some of your 6x6 pads that you might have bought for cards or whatever, but you haven't used them. So it's a good way to make a little gift album. And glue helps you to have a few seconds to slide it around to kind of make sure everything is where you want it to be. So that's how you do the front and back cover. I'm doing both the same. I'm a little off right there, but I'm going to ink that, so I think it'll be okay. So we'll just take the other, and we're going to do the same thing. Cover one side with the yellow. That's what the color choices I made. Yours may be different, and that's fine. So we put this right here. Push that down. Flip it over. Get our check on there. Okay, there's our front and back covers. Okay, for our hinges, to attach our cover and our pages together, I told you earlier to set aside or choose 2 of your papers with the solid on the back to cut your hinges. And I messed up cutting the ones for the pages. I did them wrong. I didn't add the gussets, so I went to my stash from the 12 by 12, and I had another piece of this pink left with the green on the back, and that's what I use for my page ones because I cut them out wrong. So if you don't want to use your 6 by 6 paper, you have extra of this in the 12 by 12, you certainly can use that. You would cut it to 6 inches tall, and then I'll tell you how to do the hinge in just a minute. For the covers, I cut these correct, and I've already attached them. So this has got the pattern on the back, which is no problem. It's going to be glued down and not seen. So you cut, for the cover attachment, you cut 2 that are 6 inches tall by 1 inch wide, and you're going to score down the middle at a 1/2 inch. So I have those 2, and then you're going to glue one side of the 1/2 inch to the inside of your cover so that it looks like that. And you do that on both of them. Grab the back one so you see it's on the check side. So whatever you want on the inside, you glue your hinge to that. So I apologize if that was not on camera because I cut these out wrong and I had to delete that part and recut. So you want 5 that are cut 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/4 inches wide by 6 inches tall. These have already been scored. So you put your 1 1/4 inch in at the top, and you're going to score at a 1/2 inch. And this is where I messed up before. I didn't cut them wide enough to add the 1/4 inch gussets. So then you score at 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 on all 5. And then when you fold them up, you're going to have this little 1/4 inch gusset for between your pages. Okay, so you go ahead and fold all those. Now I want the pink side showing. So I'm folding over so that my green is on the back. If you're using the 6 by 6 paper, then you will fold so that the lemons are over like this. Okay, so go ahead and do that right quick. Okay, so pull the covers out and set those aside. Get your stack of pages. You should have 6. Oh, what did get messed up on the camera, I failed to show you that. We're going to assemble our pages. We have 12 sheets. We glued. Let me show this on camera. Let me show you with another paper collection real quick. So these 2 papers are from a different 6 by 6. Excuse me, but I am going to use them to show you how I did my pages for this Oh Happy Day album. So you choose the, for one page, you choose 2 of your pattern, and then they're both cut 6 by 6. You decide which is going to be the outsides. You open it up. We're going to leave it open on one end. So I want you to put a line of glue right along what would be the edge towards the spine. Down across the bottom and the top. So this is if you want a pocket, which are good to have for different reasons. So now I'm going to line, and make sure you paid attention to your direction. So you want your pocket on the end, unless you decide you want it from the top. But you want your pattern, going the correct direction. So carefully line these up. You want to get them even. It should be the same size. Burnish those lines. So the bottom's sealed up. This will be the bottom edge. If you want to make a little notch in there, you can. I haven't decided yet if I want to, but this is going to be the opening of the pocket. So your 12 pages will end up being, 12 sheets of pattern paper will end up making 6 pages for your album. So that's how you make the page. So now I have my pages lined up the way I want them. This will be the front one. So I'm going to take it and make sure that your opening is to your right here. I'm going to flip it over. Double check this one. Turn it. So there's my pocket there on the right. Set these others out of the way. So this is going to be 2 pages that we join together. So we take a hinge and we want that 1/4 inch in between, and we're just going to glue, and I'm folding it so I can see 1/2 inch and 1/4 on this side and 1/2 inch on this side. So I'll put my glue on just this 1/2 inch. And I'm going to attach it to my page. Line it up on the edge. Make sure my pocket is where it needs to be. Okay. Oops. A little too far down, so pay attention on your bottom as well as this edge right there. Okay. And burnish that. So that's the hinge on that side. And yes, you could have probably assembled your pages onto this before making the pocket. I have done that in the past. For this one, I decided I wanted the pink showing. You can do it the other way. I don't have a loose one here to show you. In other words, you would take your hinge and sandwich it between, say if this was just a single sheet, you would sandwich it and then do your lines and leave your opening. That way your hinge is covered up. But I like the pink and I wanted this to show as part of it. So I'm going to put this back this way now. And we want to put glue on this 1/2 inch. So I hope it makes sense to you. Like if you want your hinge hidden, that you attach it before you put your pages together and you put the hinge in between the 2 sheets of paper. So now we're going to attach this one here. Line it up. Nice and even top and bottom. And burnish. Okay, so there's a hinge on both of those joined together. So we flip it this way. I'm double checking, making sure my pockets now, when they're turned to the left, are to the left like that. Now I grab your next one. Check for your pocket. Should be right there. Okay, there's my pocket. Lay this here, take another hinge, and again we're going to flatten it so that we only see 1/2 inch. Put our glue on it. Turn it so that it's going to attach to this page, right along the end, right along the fold here. And burnish it, open it up, drop any glue, and burnish that. And flatten this back like this. We're going to put this, the glue on just the half. Now having this two-tone, you can see that I'm putting it on the back side, which is the green. And of course, if you're using the other with the lemons, then that's what you would put your glue on. So now we line this one up. Nice and straight as you can. And we'll keep doing that the same way. Now when you open this up, you're going to have your nice squared 1/4 inch spaces like that. So keep on adding onto each page. And I'll probably speed up the camera for this part to save us some time. I'm just looking for my pocket. There it is. I think I put that one on sideways. Oh, I did. Wait, let's see here. Yeah, but that's going to be okay. I'm okay with that. Don't do what I did. Pay attention to how you're putting it in. Pocket's on the right here. I can't even turn it and put it atop one because they'll still be upside down. Unless I did it. Let's do it this. Will this flowers be upside down? Those are okay. We're going to turn it this way. Pocket on this one's going to be at the top because then these will be, no, they'll still be going the wrong way. Shoot. Okay. Thought I had figured it out, but I didn't. This is supposed to go this way anyway. So we're going to leave that way. Okay. Speed it up now. Okay, so now we have all our pages in. There's our spine right back there. Now we're going to attach our front and back covers. So this is going to be the front. And I forgot to show you that I did ink my covers. I'm using a light Venetian lace color box graphic 45 ink that I have. So I just, whoop, got some on my cover right there. That's okay. There'll be other stuff there probably. So I just ink from my pad and I let some of it come bleed over because I'm fine with that. So just like that. I think there's a go in the back so I can cover that up with a little saying or something. So I'll put this here and this will be the front. So see how it's inked on the edges. So you take this 1/2 inch hinge and you're going to put your glue on the hinge on the back side. And you're going to line it up on this front page right along the edge. And make sure it's lined up. Now what's different about these albums like this is your cover is the same size as your pages. I just did that because that's what we had is 6 by 6. If you wanted to cut your pages smaller, you could have. But for this particular one, I like them being the same. So now we're going to attach this one right here on the back. So this is going to go like that. So again, glue on the back of your hinge. And the spine cover, I think I'm going to add on after I've done all my decorating, or adding pockets and things. I think it just works better that way. You could probably go ahead and put it on now if you wanted to. Okay, so there's the cover with the pages. And so as you see, we have them all squared up here pretty good on the back. That's where the hinge is going to attach. Okay, so now I'm ready to add some pockets. So what I did is I did have 2 pages of the small ones with the cutter parts that I saved. The others I cut up into 2-inch tall by 6-inch wide pieces so that I can use them for pockets. 6-inch wide by 2 inches tall pieces of paper that you cut and create pockets throughout your book. So this one's going to be a horizontal one, and because they're the cut 6-inch size, they're going to be exactly what you need to fit into the book. So I'll put a little bit of glue along each side. That's the short sides. And then make sure you're putting it on the bottom edge. This, and I'm going to put this one because I have a boo-boo here with the glue, so I'm just going to cover that up with a pocket. And make sure that it's onto the edge of the page and doesn't go over your 1/4 inch gusset here. Burnish that down so that's a little pocket. And then I took another matching scrap of paper, this is the same, 6 inches by 2, and I folded it and burnished it. I just kind of guessed where I wanted it to go to make a little booklet. And I'm going to take some button string that I cut off. This is just probably a yard here, I don't know. I want to make sure I had enough, and I'm going to attach it on the back with a piece of score tape for now. And center it on the back. There. And then I'm going to peel this backing off. And I'm just going to stick it down right about here on the page, kind of an angle. And then let's look at our, I didn't put this on the supplies, but I do have some stickers, not a whole lot. I have a few stickers left. I was just looking to see if I had anything I wanted to put on the front of this. Let's see. Maybe in our ephemera pack. There might be something small. Let's take all that out. Big cut aparts and some little ephemeras. Okay, let's look in here. It's a hat. Well, that's already attached down. I like the hat. So I'm going to put that on there. I'm just going to use some glue. This is not a sticker. It's from the ephemera pack. So it's like a little hat with all the flowers. And this is already attached down. Loosen it up and put glue on it because it needs more adhesive than that. Should have already glued it on. Okay. Now we put it back. Make sure your strings are free. Okay. Then we take the string and we're just going to tie it in a bow. So this is a fun way to add a little element in there, and a little place for some small photos. And then I like to take the ends and tie them up into a knot. And make this one a little shorter. Yeah. And then the other side is a little tighter. Okay, there's that. With a little closure on it. I'll fiddle with the bow a little bit. There we go. Sometimes button twine wants to twist, and I have to straighten it out. There we go. That's a little bit better. So there's that page like that. Now you could have left this open a bit. We may still be able to, yeah, slide in a photo back there if we wanted to, a photo mat. So just keep going through, and I am not going to put a pocket on this front page, but I probably will put some kind of cut apart. I want to look at the bigger ones first. A lot of these I like for cards, which we'll probably make some cards. Thinking of you, hello, all the hellos would make good cards. Dreaming always. Like that. My big scissors, and I'm going to just cut this angle out right here. And trim it up some, clean it up. This is going to be kind of like a cover page, so I'm just going to add that right there. Let's go ahead and glue it down. And I did not punch the hole for the tag. I'm just going to glue the bow there. Just kind of center it the best you can. Push that down. And let's see. Let's take a yellow piece of this, and I'm going to make a bow right quick. And then I'm going to spritz it a little bit with water off camera here. Real wet, just a little bit on my hands, and then I'm crinkling it up. I like crinkled up bows. What can I say? You don't have to crinkle yours if you like them the solid way. And I'm going to tie a little knot in the end. Cut it at an angle a little bit. I'm just going to let it naturally fray out. And because I put most of the water on my fingers and just crinkled this up, it is dry enough already to glue down. If you got it too wet, then you can always take your heat gun and dry it real quick. And put some glue. And I'm going to stick that down and let that dry. So that's the first page. I'm trying to decide, I like this solid blue here. I think I'm going to put a pocket. So the same thing, just on the ends. across the bottom. And I'm going to put it over that hinge, but not where it folds. Just about like that. And there's a pocket there. I'm going to separate these that look like that are made more for cards. Sweet Home, making lemonade. Cut that one down. And make it more into a tag. Put it in there. Let's add, it's big enough. Let's add a button twine bow. I'm just going to tie this one single thick knot. So I'm going to put it right there. And let it dry before tying it into knots on the bottom. So I tied the knots on the ends of the button string, and then I've tucked in this Good Times Ahead from the leftover 12 by 12. So just stick that in right there. And then I decided I want to pull in the red. So from one of my 2" by 6" strips, this is cut 3 1/4. And I'm just going to attach it on the ends, I think, like a belly band. You don't have to use it as one, but if you want to, it's there. So on this pocket, I'm just going to line it up, kind of center it. Can give it that, add some color, a little pop of color right there on those. Make sure they burnish in. So if you wanted to, you could, stick something else under there. A bigger piece. Don't know. But anyway, it's there if you want to add something in on there. So then we have that one like that. Open up this page. So for this one, I am going to put a pocket out of pink. So again, 6 by 2 inches, and I'm just going to put it on the ends, the glue, and across the bottom. So stick that in over this 1/2 inch part, but not over the fold. Like that. Burnish that. There's a pocket. So let's see. Let's put this piece right there. And I'm going to glue this completely down, which I could have done on the other one as well. It just depends on what you have to tuck in. So we got that right there on the ends. Okay, so next we can put another card in here if we want to, like that. And I like this tag, and it needs a ribbon and a bow with the button string. So that's going to go in there. We need to add that. And I'm just looking at the pink one. No, I don't want pink on that. I like the green. So I'm going to make another bow with this. And I may look through my stash and see if I have any flowers that I think I might want to use. I'm going to go ahead and tie my knots now on the end. adjusting. Let's see here. Yeah, looking a little shorter. Do it right there. And I think with the bees, I'm going to put a tuck spot. Enjoy the small things. So I'm just going to put glue, put my fingers where I don't want the glue. And I'm going to put it on this side. So it'll be on the left of the front and into an L shape. So I'm just going to, at an angle, attach that right there. So that gives us a tuck spot for a photo. Or another cut apart. That. Gather here. I'm going to trim this one down some. Clean up the edges just a little bit where it's showing some white that I didn't quite get it cut right. There we go. Okay, so I think for now that's good on that page. So we'll flip to the next where we got the hats and the ferns. So see what we got. Plant kindness and gather love. So kind of like that. I'm going to do again just the L on the side that will touch down to the left of the page and across the bottom. And I'm going to lay that right there. Oops. And we do need another bow. So cut off some more button string. I'm saving that satin with the flowers. I think I'm going to use that on the cover and some of the other seam binding. I may use some seam binding if I add in some flowers into the pages too. So get that tied. And let's tie some knots. I normally don't do decorating on my tutorial videos, but because this one was a shorter one to assemble, quick and easy, I thought I'd show a little bit on camera how I do some of my decorating and kind of keep it a little bit simple. There's that one right there. And I like the hats. I haven't decided if I want a pocket. It's kind of pretty there. Let's add a pocket. Just the ends, across the bottom. We'll probably put maybe this tag in there. So I'm going to add some ribbon on that. So I tied a pink seam binding bow and spritzed it and crinkled it up. So that's going to glue onto this tag here. Let's put a dot of glue right here at the top. Attach my bow. And that's going to slide in right there. Then I had from that scrap, that paper that I used for the hinges, pink and the green, I cut these down to 3.5 by 5, and I'm going to round the corners for these photo mats. I'm going to use the 1/4 inch corner rounding, all 4 sides. Then I glued this little, from the ephemera flower circle, just the very top. So that's going to tuck in there. You can do it either direction. And I have another one here, the green one. Do the same thing, round the corners. So I could show you attaching this strawberry, because there's a strawberry over here. So I'm going to attach this one to the bottom. Just put a little bit of glue right there on the top. And a picture can be, you can slide a picture up underneath there if you need to. So there's that, like that. So I'm going to put both of these in here like this. Okay. Now that I don't have anything to put on that, I would like to add a strip of something, but right now I don't have anything, so I may skip that and add something else. Here I added a pocket, and this we have our little booklet that we made earlier right there. So this needs something inside, and I like this from the cut apart. So I'm going to attach it, just the bottom part of it, onto the top of the pocket. Something about right there. Okay. This way it's open at the top underneath, and you can slide different cut aparts. That one says fresh squeezed sunshine, unless I need that one somewhere else. I might put it here on my flowers that are all going sideways. So I'm going to put some glue on this and just attach this down here. And then see what I have. Another 3.5. 5. Sorry, my cutter is over here on the side, so I'm just cutting this scrap down. Another 3.5 by 5. I think I'm going to put right there. I want the pink side. Let's round this corners. 1/4 inch. So any kind of solid that coordinates with your collection, you can use here like that. This hello goes in this other package. So some of these pages you can leave solid for photos, like that. And then we have the birds, they're cute. I was thinking about putting a pocket here in this. This is a page. We have the alphabet there on this inside cover. I'm going to cut it down a little bit, and then we're going to put it here inside this page. So just glue on the ends again. We'll check it, make sure you're putting it on the bottom when you have a directional. And let's stick it down. So now we have a pocket there inside our cover, going that way, and the other one's going vertical, and this one is horizontal. So now we need to add some little cut aparts in there. We have a couple of these. So you always use those for photos on the back. And this around, and I think, no, that kind of looks pretty there. So I'm going to trim this down. with a little bit of a pink border. And I'm going to just put glue on the very top. Stick it over here in this corner. And I'm going to add a little bow. Not a real big one, I don't think, just a small one. Okay, tie the ends. And so you can still have a photo that tucks up under there. And I think, let's see, let's take this one, fold it half. It's not exactly half, but folding it. So it leaves a little bit of an edge. That doesn't mean anything, but it's just a scrap of paper. So yeah, I'm going to put it on there. I do that a lot. You just see scraps laying around and just pick them up and use them. This is going to go over here with the birds. Somewhere. Maybe there. So I need a closure on it, or I could use a clip. I'll go ahead and glue it down, just, let's see, the bottom edge, and this edge over here. So the photo can be tucked under it, so we'll just stick it down like that. Okay, and then I'm going to find me a clip. Okay, so I found a pink paper clip and just stuck that on there right there. So you can do that. Let's see here, we've got the pocket there. We're going to leave this page maybe for a full photo. The same as here. Unless we want to add any more pockets here. This is kind of cute. Let's use that one. And the ends. Across the bottom. Just stick it right here. So that pulls in that random scrap there of letters. Okay. And we need a photo mat. Let's see what we got left. It's kind of big. I'm going to fold it in half. So this is a scrap that was not quite 6, 5 7/8. That one's a little ragged on the end. Let me cut that again. Straighten it up. And this one is 4 3/4. So I'm going to just fold it in half. That. Burnish it. Trim. I didn't get quite even on the side. And then around these two corners. Stick that in like that. Take the rest of this. I'm going to trim this up right here. Move it around. See where it overlaps just a tiny bit? I'm going to put a little bit of glue. And this is how you use up some of your scraps as part of your decorating. Attach that. So that becomes a belly band that this should slide into, just like that. And then that can go into our pocket. Okay, these scraps are too little. So all I have left is this one sheet for my spine. So let's take a look at the album so far. We have the cover, we have a pocket there, tag, fits, little mats. This one doesn't have anything in it. Look in my 12 by 12 scraps here, leftovers. I found something on it. We've got this one. And around the corners. It's just a bunch of pretty flowers. This was a cut apart, so that's going to stick down in there. We have this little booklet. We have that. We're going to leave this one blank. We're going to leave booklets. Open this last one up. And there is that last page with the pocket. So yeah, I think the inside's finished. So the next thing we need to do is our spine. On the back side of my spine piece, I've used a pin and made me 2 placement marks. So the sides are about 2 3/8. No, sorry, 2 3/16. 2 3/16, not quite a 2 1/4, and then in between is 1 1/2. So this is where we're going to first glue it to these spines. So we want to square them up, square as possible, and I'm going to put glue between these 2 lines, the top all the way down, pretty solid as I can. And then you could use score tape for this if you wanted to. On these backs of these spines, I'm going to put some glue. On the backs of these little gussets, these little 1/4 inch gussets here, some glue on them too. Now then, doesn't matter because I'm using solid which direction I'm going, but I'm going to position this from the front side here so that it's centered and lined up pretty close to that line right there. And I'm going to press down in here as best I can. Right here on this last one. And let's make sure this back side is straight too. Let's pick it up. And we're going to burnish. Let's see if it's close enough. I think it'll work. And I'm going to let it dry. Now, this is not very thick paper. I'm a little off here on my pages, but I think it's going to be okay when I put some ribbon and stuff on it. So you can kind of see the lines. The paper's not real thick. If that bothers you and you have something you can pattern it with, if you have some leftover pattern paper, you could do that. Now it's important to go into these 1/4 inch gussets and try to burnish this down so that glue sticks, okay? Each page here. And I'm going to let that dry. Okay, keep it down. If you have to turn it over and burnish, go ahead and do that too. It's kind of a rounded edge here, and it does show some of the lines. So I'm going to rub some of those out if I can. Okay, now then, I'm going to pull this back gently, and we're going to put glue on this side of our spine piece. We're going to bring this in, and we're going to wrap it down. And the same on the other side. Now what might work really well might also be fabric, if you wanted that. It fits better here on the back. So this may not look exactly the way you think it should. This one kind of buckled. Don't like that. I don't think I can lift that up. Got it on really good. So I'm going to have to cover that with ribbon, which I was going to do anyway. So let's make sure it opens up okay. Right there. Okay, so I'm going to get my ribbon ready that I want to use for this, and we'll get that on too to make this a little bit better right here. It kind of buckled a little bit. It's kind of straightening out. Okay. All right, so I'll get all that together. And we'll so I'm ready to work on my cover, and I've kind of laid out some things that I want. I have this really pretty lace, and I think that it's going to work great to hide lace, and ribbon hide a multitude of sins. So like where this kind of pleated right here on this cover, we're going to cover it with lace, and then I've laid out some flowers and leaves that I like. So we're going to put those on, and then I have the ribbon from Country Craft Creations with the flowers. I sewed a loose stitch down the center with my sewing machine to kind of ruffle it up. And I'm going to see about using that. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can do this with a needle and thread, just kind of a basting stitch down the center and then pull the threads and get your ruffle. So I think that'll be pretty on there. And I have some pearls and a heart and maybe some buttons. We'll see about that. So first, let's get this first piece of ribbon on here. So I'm going to overextend it a little bit so that this wraps here and this positions that. So I do use my art glitter glue for my laces. So I'm just going to flip this over and start applying glue in some of the solid places. Just kind of dots of glue here and there to get this all going the way I want it to. Right in here, these with the openings, it does dry clear. So I'm trying to hurry because I don't want anything to like start drying on me before I'm ready. Getting glue underneath my table here. Should have put the mat down. But we'll be okay. Okay, I think I almost have enough. So let's flip it back over Just stay here. About right there. So we're standing, let's see, comes this way. Right, even there. So let me grab me a towel so I can start wiping some of it up. Especially here on my mat table. I'm gonna get this off first. Clean all that off. Okay, so here I'm gonna start pressing down. And I can go back later with more glue if I need to. On camera still, it's kind of wet. So you just keep pressing down where you have glue. And in these places where flowers are sticking up, I'm just add a little more there. Hold it down. That's pretty good. This one needs some. So you just keep playing with it along the edges, especially right here. Press it in. And I'm probably going to put a piece of it also, like on the back. I'm going to let this dry, and then after it dries, I will come back and trim this off, and then add more glue wherever I might need it. So just keep pressing the glue in, and like I said, art glitter glue will dry clear, so don't feel like you can't use it on open lace like this. And it doesn't dry shiny. And so keep pressing down different places where you need to press it down. So I'm going to let that dry. And I'm going to decide about my ribbon. I think it's going to go about right there. So I'm going to trim this end off. I need to turn it under just a little. So I'm going to use some glue right on the end. Turn that under. And hold it like you're pressing it. Hopefully it will hold. Have to hold it for a few seconds. Satin. I'm not sure how satin works with our glitter glue, so we're going to see. I need to put more on. Okay. Now then, I want that to be about right there. So I'm going to start with some glue here. Do a line of glue right down this lace and onto the paper. And that's folded. And stick it down. Take a little clip, and I'm going to hold that right there. Loosen up some of the ruffles. Down to this end so that I can see how far down it needs to go before I cut it and fold it under. Oops. So go with my fingers. My fingers are sticky. Okay, we're going to let that dry before we finish all the end. Okay, once it's dried, the lace, the ribbon's dried on pretty good. Take your scissors and just clip along the edge here at the top. Anything that overhangs, any strings that you might see that you don't like, kind of clean it up. And then, like here on the top edge, I will take my glue and reinforce it some right along any of the edges that I have clipped to kind of just seal that up so we don't have any unfinished, unglued edges here. Right in here, we want some. Just press it in. Okay, so this side's, unclip it. And we're going to trim this one off too. So there's more here to trim off. So I'm just going to right along the edge of the album cover. Trim this lace. It's a nice clean cut. There we go. Let's see what we have here. We open it back. Then we have some loose ends here. So I'm going to look right here and clip some of this there. And then we want to make sure it is sticking down. So we put some more glue on any loose edges. And right along the edge, we're going to seal this off. Put some glue in. Here. It's clipped. There we go. Right in here. Okay. And this came loose. So this wasn't quite dry enough. Put it right back. The glue's still tacky. It's taking it a little longer to dry with the satin, so I may have to use something else too. So we'll see. Give it a little more chance to dry. Just press it in there really good. I think it's really pretty there. That I like that. Okay, so for the other side, we're going to add some lace also. So I'm going to cut that and get that ready. Go ahead and get my glue on all the places I want to quickly get stuck down. This is for the back side. I think these flowers here on the side here, I'm going to stick it on before and then glue them down after I've got them up there. So I guess I better put some on them. This is going on the spine. And I'm going to fit these in between, offset between those others, I think. So there we go. This is going to fit right in here and there, just like get them kind of stuck down on that spine there. Bring this over, hold it. It's really sticky with your hands, so I'll press that. Lay this down. I'm trying to get these stuck pretty good here. Pressing on it. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry a minute before I start cutting on it any. So I've got my lace on the back trimmed off and it's glued down, drying. And so I've still got this clip to hold it, but I'm gonna go ahead and add my flowers. So I have some from my stash. I have this pretty pink one here, and I'm gonna put it about right here. And again, I do use art glitter glue for my flowers. For me, it seems to hold really well, and I only have to worry about having just one glue. I'm going to put a blue one in here. I decided to use, I started to use 5, but I decided to go with just 3 flowers. Since this is a smaller book. And cluster them together like that. Add in some, ready for some leaves. I have 3 different leaves here. I have 3, they're all the same, but some glue on the back. And I'm going to tuck one in about right here. Here. One more. Put this one up here. Okay. Then I added some button twine and some buttons, so I'm thinking I'll put this one here at the bottom. I've left the string hanging on this because I may incorporate that into the actual design. I'm not sure. Put this, I'll put that one up there. These are from my stash. They're little wood buttons that I had. I just wanted to add a little rustic in there, perhaps. Let's see here. If I twist this in. Play with this a little bit. Getting that in there. Bring this down just a little bit of glue on this flower tip and see if I can get this loop to stay in the glue. Okay, right there. Set that down like that. So like that, make sure they stay. Then I had a heart charm, or it's actually a heart button. I think that's really pretty, so I think I'm going to stick it right in there. Maybe I have 3 pearls. I just like to put a dollop of glue on there and drop a pearl on it. There's 1. 2. And a 3rd pearl. Okay, so I'm going to let all that dry and decide if I want to put anything over here or not. And I think I'm going to cut this one right here. I think that's sticking out long. Okay. Put a little glue there and secure that piece down right into the glue. Okay, so I'm liking that. Let it all dry, and then we'll decide if there's anything else I need to do on the cover. While I'm letting the ribbon dry really good with the clips on it and all my flowers and elements, I just need to every now and then just check and press in to make sure that everything's still laying flat down into what you want it to be. And I've added some elements inside while I'm waiting. I added this flower here, just glued it to the bow. And I added this ribbon here on this pocket and 2 of the flowers. And then I added in one of the little, cut from the lace, a little flower there. So that's all I've done really on the inside off camera. And then here on the back, I have this from the ephemera, where that one spot is, the ink is, I don't really like it there very well. So I think I'm going to see what I've got to mat this to. Straighten this up on the end a little bit. So I'm going to mat this to the green. It's just a scrap that I had laying here on the table. And this is the ephemera piece. And attach this down. Oops, I'm off camera. Sorry about that. It's just a scrap of green paper, and I'm matting this ephemera piece too. It says I must have flowers always and always. And so I'm going to attach that right here. That ink place where I dropped my ink pad. It's a great thing about paper crafting. You've got something that's messed up, or you did something wrong, or you just cover it up. Okay, there we go, like that. So that's just there. It's kind of funny on the top like that, but that's okay. Get this around. Sometimes I like to add the name of the paper collection. You can do that on the back down here. I might put that on there. Let me see here. I might cut that off. So we have this says, "Oh, Happy Day." I'm just going to glue that down there on the bottom. This is off the branding strip on one of the papers. And here, do I want to put something here? Now I have this whole sheet of the letter stickers. I don't want to put anything because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the album. So you could put someone's initials or something like that. I do like the different stickers of flowers in the baskets. So put some extra glue on them so they don't peel up. So I'm going to stick one here. And there's another one here. Just kind of overlap them. A little bit right there. And see what else I might have. Last, I have a flower and a vase. I think those two are enough. Okay, so that's the cover, and I think the inside is done as well. And let me take these clips off. Okay, so there's my little quick and easy. I made it in a day. It wasn't even a full afternoon. I took several breaks. Quick and easy to make. A quick gift. Here on the spine, I did add these ribbons, and how I did that is these are 6 pages, so you go count 3 pages. So this is your center, so you take your ribbon, wrap it around it, and tie it in a knot at the top. I've used 2 of the ribbons. Then I tied them in knots at the bottom. So you want your knot here at the top. Then I wrapped some button string around and brought it in and tied it into a knot and then into a bow and let some hang down. And on the end of each button string, I used a butterbee charm, double knotted those on there, and then used a little bit of glue, art glitter glue, to secure those knots. And then I glued one of the flowers in here. So I like how that turned out. So this is my finished album. I will go ahead and probably do some mats right quick and then show you the finished
The final
album
step
with
is
the
to
mats
make
in.
some
Little photo mat cards to insert into your pockets. So I made 6. You can make more than that. I cut mine to 4.5 wide by 6 tall, and then I use this little bee lace punch that I have to punch the edges, and so I insert them one into each page sleeve like this. So there they are in the album. So let me do a flip through real quick of the album. So this is the finished album on the front. You have the pretty flowers, the stickers here, some buttons with the button string twisted around, some pearls, ruffled up the satin ribbon, added this lace on the front and the back, wraps over the spine. Then I wrapped with ribbon, seam binding ribbon from Country Craft Creations, and added charms on the end of my button string. This is by Butterbee Scraps Charms. This is a birdhouse and this is a bird. And we added a flower here. And then it opens up. So we have a pocket inside with a tag and a photo mat. Added this. This is a belly band if you wanted to use it that way. You could do it like that. And then this is the cover page with the flower on the bow. And again, I have one mat in each with a lacy tab. This is a tuck spot. Another pocket. This is not a belly band. It's just a decorative strip. So these come out. We have the photo mat and the tag. This is a tuck spot, so you could add a photo here if you wanted to. I have 2 photo mats in this pocket and a tag with a seam binding ribbon bow. Add these flowers on this ribbon strip on the pocket. This is a pocket going horizontal, and we have the cut apart here on it, and then we just have a photo mat here out of patterned paper. This is a little booklet that unties, and it opens up like this, so you can add little pictures in there. And then you can also slide under a picture right there. Let's open it just a little more. There we go. So you could slide one in like that. Small picture. If you need a bigger picture, don't glue your booklet on quite as far. Okay, this goes back in here. We have another tuck spot with a mat here. Left this page blank. And we have a little booklet here with a paper clip. It does have room for you to tuck behind, and it just opens up again like the other one. And this paper clip just holds it closed. And then we have another pocket here with a booklet that has a belly band. So you just open that, add pictures, and slide this in like this. So this matches the pocket. And then we have a little tag up here that you can slide a photo up underneath it to mat it down. This page is left blank, and then we have a pocket here in the back cover. And on the back, I added I must have flowers always and always. This is the lace in the back, and Oh Happy Day is the paper collection. So that's my little quick and easy 6x6 album made out of a 6x6 paper pad with some cardstock for your tags if you want to, and a few pieces of the 12x12 left over from my first project, and flowers from my stash, seam binding ribbon, satin ribbon from Country Craft Creations, pretty lace from the Facebook group that you can order from Pamela Joy. And I hope you've enjoyed this and that you will give it a try and make one yourself. Thank you so much. Make sure that you check out countrycraftcreations.com online for your crafting supply needs. Oh Happy Day by Carter Bella is available while supplies last, so be sure and check on that. There's a lot of new collections that have come out. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so and click on the little bell so that you'll be notified of my next project and tutorial. Thanks again. Bye-bye.